Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right. Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay. Welcome. Now, one of the things I want to tell you, brought to you by a small company that's going to be larger than you've ever heard. It's called Dispose. Now, this company right here is doing a lot of great things when it comes to the garbage. Okay. We moving the things that you might not want to touch. We got it for you.
Right.
One of the things I want to tell you, I'm also looking for drivers. So anybody got some, I ain't talking about somebody, I'm going to go throw some people out there. If you drive a school bus,
Yeah.
or automatic,
Yeah.
what your ass fly? Talking about you can do it. No. I've been doing this for 28 years. I need somebody to work a stick. But hey, if you come with riding around automatic, that's cool. But do you know how to drive a stick? Do you know how to work it? I need them old school ones, okay?
Yeah.
But if you're a school bus driver and you got a safe record and you want to convert over to the dark side and learn some more, come on and check me out. I might just take the time to train you because again, I'm gonna change your life
There you go.
when you deal with this, and we got all the benefits that you ever want to see. Come check me out. Number that you can call me directly when it comes to that right there. 770-286-7526. And again, just give Jeremiah a holler and we're gonna see what we can do for you. And again, that is our sponsor with Dispose.
Right.
Now, the person I got in the building right next to me is this person that y'all need to know, y'all need to touch. This man is Craftmatic. That's the dog.
That's an introduction right there, bro. What's up, Smooth J?
Man,
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Man.
I'm good. Life is, I got this new term, riding high in the valley.
Ooh, okay.
Right? Riding high in the valley. Sometimes when things are tough, you keep your mindset on the mountaintop. You keep your mindset focused on where you're trying to go and what you're trying to achieve. And that makes the right now a little less turbulent, you know?
Oh, okay.
You know, your focus on what you're trying to achieve makes the right now a little less turbulent.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
So just having a great life, man. You see, I've got a little under the weather with this bug,
Yeah.
but it won't beat me.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
I mean?
talking.
I'm already victorious, and so glad to be here tonight, boy. We gonna talk about some interesting stuff tonight.
Yeah.
All of that aside, man. How are you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. I did a side prayer off of
We gonna need we gonna need a side prayer.
Yeah, definitely gonna need something knowledge.
Yeah, if you folks haven't been with us before, you need a cloth in your hand to grab on to when you hear some of these clenching things that we talk about.
Or a gavel.
Yeah,
I'm like, you foul.
Yeah, and for you folks who have been with us, we are going hard in the paint tonight. I don't want to give it away because I don't like to get out of turn.
What?
But we got a fantastic show lined up for you. One of the most dynamic topics perhaps I have ever heard in media, in talk radio, on TV, any set, any form. We're going to get it in tonight. So glad you're with us tonight. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth J. And we are Bar Talk with Jay. And I'd like to welcome all of you folks here tonight. Our goal is to just deliver a powerful dialogue that'll give everybody an opportunity to grow. Give everybody an opportunity to rethink what they've already thought about this particular subject. And so we like to think that it's a little therapeutic. As you hear our stories, our opinions, you'll find out who you really are if you take a good look and a good listen to what we're talking about. I mean, this is powerful stuff. And as you hear this show, as deep as we get in this show is as deep as we get in every single show. Sometimes the greatest dialogue doesn't come out until the second half of the show. That's why I always say the second half is sometimes better than the first half, because we really get to focus in on the subject. So thank you folks for being with us tonight. We always like to start the night out with a prayer. And I don't know, Jay, you interested in doing the prayer for us tonight?
I did my side prayer and it was kind of raunchy, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it.
Hey, did you hear what he said? He said he did a raunchy prayer.
I mean, it was a raunchy.
What kind of supernatural result?
I
you
mean,
gonna
I
get from
did
that?
nothing from that one.
You didn't get nothing from that,
But the Lord knows, and I'll go back. And I say it because the good Lord knows my heart.
Yes,
and
He
even
does.
with them jokes, He understands. He just keep giving us the power.
There you go.
The power to deliver a message from you, not of man.
Yes.
One of the things that I see, we keep on looking at each other and we're not going to you. So can you give us the strength, the courage to get past what somebody else is saying and get back to your words and deliver your way and make everybody back whole again.
Yes.
Right now we're at a dark time when everybody's looking for self-pleasure, selfishness, and everything but you. So can you fill us and fulfill us, and we'll stop doing some of the things we was doing, and that way we can rebuke some of the man-made things that we keep chasing after.
Yes.
In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Boy, you put that one
I
down.
had to, because I had that raunchy one at first. I
Listen,
said, come on,
that
I
was
had to
so
change that.
relevant to tonight's subject.
It
It is so relevant to tonight's subject because there are some things that we are all engaging in. Let's just put it this way. We ain't got our ass no business doing what we doing. There's somebody I'm talking to tonight.
Oh yeah, you are.
We doing things that we ain't supposed to be doing, and we need some help. And we're not going to get help from the human world. We can only get our help from the world which we came from, the world that has all answers, and that is the spiritual world. And some of us need to ask some deep questions about our behaviors as a part of this world, a part of our society, a part of your children's lives, a part of your family's lives. You are putting yourself and a lot of your life and your family members' lives at risk. We want to talk about that tonight. In fact, the quote for tonight will really lend itself to it. Let's go ahead and jump into last week's topic, which was another doozy, right? The question for last week's topic is there an appropriate time limit to walk away from a relationship that is stagnant?
Whew. Now, I always say it. If a relationship has no value, no respect,
Right.
it's
like
easier to take that notion, because I don't like giving up on anybody.
that. Yeah.
But a lot of times people put a time frame on somebody, and it's not always going to work. You're being selfish, but it's fine, because
Right.
you got to set certain things in place. But please understand, if you want to continue, ask yourself some questions like, when he with me, is it something that we're growing? Is it something that's aiding me? Or is it just one way?
Right.
He won't give me what I want, but he's really giving you everything. But the one thing you want, he's just not decided. You can't make that person change his mind overnight. And if you did, please understand, I don't think he's that strong of a man. Because that person should stay strong and let you know, if I'm that man for you, then you got to ride this tide, because it's going to be a long ride after. I'm not trying to do this just to fail you.
Right.
And all what you want can be achieved when we work together. A lot of times it's a lot of one person working, one person talking, and another person ain't saying nothing because he's not comfortable.
Right.
I want to make sure everybody's comfortable, because marriages is failing.
Yes.
Because people are really not getting into it for the right reason.
That's exactly
They
right.
following family, they following friends. You gotta understand what God has for you.
Yeah.
But you want to follow everybody else. Probably why your ass fell out the last one, or fall out the next one, gonna probably fall out at work.
Yep.
You're gonna kill yourself trying to make somebody else happy, and you will die miserable. That's not fair.
Right.
Love yourself, get in tune with yourself,
Yeah.
and then you can be more powerful, and you can make that relationship stronger, and it'll probably make it.
There you
That's
go.
just my suggestion.
There you go. And let me just paraphrase ask the question again and share my 2 cents. Is there an appropriate time limit to walk away from a relationship that is stagnant? And I'm big on being decisive. Right? There's a very, very few things in my life that I've ever rode the fence. Right? Most things I'm extremely decisive, but when I ride the fence, there's some real reason for me to ride it. I've weighed both sides, and I do so. But the answer in my mind is when you know it's over. Is there a time limit? When you know it's over. When you know it's over, that probably means both people have stopped trying. That probably means that you can no longer foresee that person in your future. When it's over, that means that you probably aren't communicating very well, and nobody's trying. And that's the real key factor, is, are they trying? See, if someone is trying, then they get more time. Right? I'm a little more patient. I got more time to give for somebody who's trying. But somebody who's not trying, or somebody who's full of nonsense or BS or playing games or whatever, those are the people that you go ahead and get rid of. Right? The change is hard, but sometimes you just have to do it. Now, The reason you would do it is because the relationship in one form or another has become stagnant, right? And that's something you can measure. Is the relationship stagnant? Ask yourself about your relationship. And I would imagine most married couples, most of them being unhappy, would probably say that there's some serious things wrong with my relationship. And I may not be happy. I may not really want to be here anymore, but I'm going to stick in there because I said some vows, and I'm going to stick in there because I do love this person, but it really ain't going nowhere. And we have to make those assessments. Those are some difficult assessments to kind of start judging the people who you're with as to their worthiness of you being with them. It's an interesting way to look at things. Like, I've seen couples that have broken up because the husband just didn't feel like the wife could ever add any value. Right? Now she was adding lots of value, but she didn't add the value he wanted. You see what I mean? So, the question always is, now before you give up, the question is, have you voiced it? Have you tried? Have you asked about it several times? Have you given an effort to try and work it out? And if you've given the effort, there are only so many numbers of efforts that you're going to give. And once you run out of efforts, the relationship is over. Once you figured out that you can't fix it and there's nothing you can do to change it, that's when it's time to say, enough.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Now, before you leave, you ought to ask yourself one question.
What's that?
Are you a part of the problem?
Probably so.
Okay.
I got issues.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, and to be honest with yourself is really imperative.
I mean, how you gonna grow?
Right.
If you just keep looking at it, if that person's always the problem, and you get with somebody else and it's the same thing, at what point do you not look at yourself?
Right.
And I really feel like that's where we fail, because again, you looking for somebody to fulfill you and you ain't even fulfilling yourself. And I really feel like we rob ourselves when we do that, especially in a relationship, because you're looking for this person to make you happy, and that person, and that's why a lot of people are miserable, because they don't even have it within themselves.
Right.
But yet they're searching and they're feeding off other people.
Right.
I see your happiness. Your happiness should be my happiness. That's the wrong approach.
That's the wrong approach. Absolutely, that's the wrong approach. So, it was a fantastic show, and we would love for you folks to go back, check it out. We're all over the internet. I might need to let Jay introduce these
Yeah, we're going to have
platforms.
some fun tonight. Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
we're going to drop that Meet Me, okay, that date stuff, that POF. Now, we still out there. You can still see some of the stuff we put out there, but we ain't platforming on there. And it's nothing bad about any of the date sites. It's not that. It's just, I really feel like I got to get back on the mainstream. So we're going to get back to the Periscope. We're going to get back to the IG, Instagram. We also going to get to Spreaker. And then we're always going to be in Facebook and on 2 different platforms on Facebook. And then we're going to get all the way back. And we got this new one just came out, Studio On. Now this one right here I found on IG.
Okay.
And with this one is we playing music throughout the day.
Yes.
Every day.
We getting our own station.
Yeah, 2 different ones. So if you are me, I love R&B. So you're going to go to Bar Talk with Jay. Okay? And it's just Bar Talk with Jay. And you're going to listen to some good 80s music. I'm going to try to get my man Crafty help me out with the song selection. And then if you are more younger, you might want that Cardi B. You might want to give it that DJ Khaled. They some of the hype ones right now. And that's what's going on that one. But when we go live like right now, we on both.
Yes.
All right, and then on Facebook, please, if y'all got some topics y'all want to talk about, it right there in front of us. I like to hear you.
Yes.
Go ahead and give it to us.
We definitely want to hear from you. Let's just take a quick moment
What you got?
to recognize the folks who are with us tonight. Looks like we got a nice group. And Rock, if you'll help me by scrolling up, I see Miss Sherry Hoggebrook. Well, go to the top. Go ahead and go to the top, and I'll start there. I see Kevin, Rupert, Princess, Chester, Butler, Chris, Daniel, Crystal. I got James in the house. Okay. Anton. Again, Sherry Hoggebrook, Jeff Brantley, and Miss Loretta was at the bottom. Keep going down. Yeah, we got Loretta McLean with us, And even Sherry has already commented. There's probably one more down at the bottom. Keep going down. Brian and is that Keisha? Thank you, folks, for being with us tonight. It means a lot that you are here. And we hope you enjoy the show. If you got comments, you know, how we can make it better, or you want to put your 2 cents in, go ahead and type something in the screen. I can't see without my glasses, and you know I take my glasses off throughout the show.
I got this big old screen in front of me.
I need some of your eyes up there.
I try, but I can't say.
Yeah. So once again, thank you folks for being with us. And let's go ahead and move into our quote for the week, shall we?
Go ahead.
Okay. Barbara put together this quote, and she could not be with us tonight again, but thank you again, Barbara. What I like about this quote, let me just set it up, is that you can hear the building of strength in one's character as I say these statements. You can hear the building of strength in one's character as I say these statements. And it goes like this. We believe what we tell ourselves, that everything will work out and that things will get better. We are important, lovable, and worthy of great things. And the time is now to be who I really am. The best is yet to come, and I'm going to be strong and believe in myself.
Drop the mic right there.
That is. Folks, it's time to believe in yourself.
I tried to say that earlier.
I don't know who's been talking to you lately, and I don't know what they've been saying to you, but if you live in the same world that I live in, you probably got somebody trying to come against you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're probably trying to figure out who to believe the most.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you tonight, it's time to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Now, believing in yourself comes with some real intense responsibilities.
Say it again.
Because if you are believing in yourself and you are believing in things that don't work, you're always going to be on the wrong path. So you're going to have to face some rejection. You're going to have to face some self-criticism. You're going to have to face some changing of your ways in order to be your greatest possibility and in order to believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes people are going to inspire you with information, and the only way you're going to be able to receive the information and go to the next level is to just receive it. Listen. And believe in yourself. What you got to say about that, Jay?
Man, I would say that's very powerful. One of the things I was saying earlier, man, you look for other people for fulfillment, when you really got to look within.
Yeah.
And a lot of problems of the day going on because we're looking at TV, we're looking at social media. I'm glad that we got people listening to us right now. But even in listening to us, I always want this show to reflect back to you.
Right.
How does it work for you? It's your formula. You are powerful. I do not want you to think it's just us. It's you are powerful. Powerful start within yourself. That's why you pray. You pray for your inner conscience.
Yes.
To hear your words because you got power in what you say.
Yes.
And I want to wake you up to realize your power.
Absolutely.
And get back to your kingship and quit being that buster.
There you go, man. There you go. Here's one point I want to make in all of this.
What you got?
For me, now let me just speak on my own behalf.
Mm-hmm.
My belief in myself is based upon my relationship with God.
Okay.
Right? And without God, I feel real small.
Okay.
But with God, I feel big. Big enough, strong enough to face the challenge of life. Strong enough to live this life and keep grinding for 60, 70 years. Most people who have lived a real good life have spent a lot of toiling and fighting and struggling and pain. I feel strong enough to fight it. I feel strong enough to live out my last 30, 40 years still grinding, still trying to make a difference. But all of that strength comes from my belief in God. I don't believe that you can live in this world and just believe in yourself. You got to believe in the power that protects you, the power that uplifts you, the power that moves you every single day. And for me, that's God. You know, so just kind of word to the wise. Believing in yourself. If you just believe in yourself, you're trusting a lot of false notions. Because the reality is we don't know what we don't know. And most of us have been moving down the wrong path for a long time and not willing to wake up. But when we put our faith in God who knows, see, he knows where we have been. He knows our entire history. And he knows our entire future. Why would you not put your faith into the power of someone who already knows? And as he knows what you need, he's going to guide you through a path of development so that when you get there, he can get the glory and you can get the glory. See, the glory is like light in the universe. When God gets glory, that's what creates light in the universe. I know I'm going to a next level there, but
I see.
we got to understand our purposes in life, that when we live our lives to give him the glory, it brings light to the world and it heals everything. It brings masterful healing. So enough of that, because I really want to go on.
I mean, I don't know how you gonna go into the subject.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
I mean,
I'm
after
waiting on
saying
this
that,
one.
I'm trying to figure it out too.
I'm gonna tell you, 'cause
Let me-
God gonna
let
be
me-
like, he ain't hearing you now.
Yeah, it's time for us to take our first break, and I'm going to introduce our subject for tonight.
Mhm.
Let me start by giving a disclaimer that this is a R-rated show, and we don't want it to be beyond R-rated, but tonight is going to be an R-rated show.
Yeah, watch the
And
children.
we are going to be talking about sexual things tonight.
Mm.
I'm going to ask you the question off the top, folks.
Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever heard any show in the universe, in all of your days and your times, about oral sex and raw dog?
Hey, I remember back in the day that Dr. Roof. It's gonna be one of those sessions tonight.
So here is tonight's question. Oral sex and raw dogging. Would you let your inner freak out when casually dating?
I can't. Oh, I need everybody
Oral
on
sex and
Facebook.
raw dog.
Everybody.
Would you let your inner freak out when casually dating?
Mhm.
I got a whole lot to say about that subject.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait either, bruh. Listen, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. We are so glad that you're here with us tonight, and that is sincerely from my heart,
Oh,
Jay's heart. We got a great show lined up for you. We coming back with Jamal, the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey, and you know they are always so lit and bring that heat every week. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
All right. Welcome back to Bar Talk with Jay. Oh my goodness, it's gonna be an interesting show tonight. But before I go any further, I want to bring on that person that look like him, to say it ain't him, that person that's out there on the street. We want to make sure we bring in my man Jamal. Jamal, how you doing, big baby?
Man, what's happening? Bone, what's happening? Craft, what's happening? Bar Talk, Rock, what's happening? ATL, what's happening?
Yeah, man, we looking up. We looking up on the hilltop over here, bruh. Everything is lovely. City is vibing as it usually is, and we doing our thing here in the show. Glad you could be with us tonight, man. I cannot wait to hear your 2 cents on this subject tonight. I don't know where you been planning on starting, bruh, but I'll let you do your thing. Anything you'd like to share tonight?
Well, first thing is, it's that rain type of weather out here in Philly right now. So cornballs.
Yes.
If you smooth,
Mm-hmm.
you'll hit shorty and hit up and say, babe, I just ordered you some food. Just let me know what time you want me to come through if you need some company later. You know what I mean? On some chill.
Right.
I don't know if y'all got the sauce to pull that off. But you
Yeah.
don't have to ask her what she wants. Just say, baby, I ordered you some food and it's all the way. Just do some creative, smooth pimping like that.
Right.
Listen, I got me a little female friend. Now, what I did was, me and her, we got a little thing between Tupac and Jada. I had to go get her a Tupac and Jada hoodie.
Okay.
She could buy her own.
Right.
But it's just the creativity, babe, I was thinking of you. Got this here for you just because you was on my mind.
Yeah.
That put the smile on her face. She came into town, showed your boys some love. Still got the marks on me. Hey, set the game up, man. Be creative.
Yeah.
Bro, you know who I'm talking about when you saying no names.
Oh no,
But,
don't say names.
Bro, drove 8 hours, bro.
Drove 8 hours.
And how many hours you put
No
in?
name.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Okay.
Bro, I went the whole night, bro. I remember them pills that I had talked about.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro,
Ooh.
all the way.
Go ahead. You put in the gorilla pills.
They give me this Superman complex, boy.
He made it go beat her chest.
Right. Listen,
No
that's good stuff,
fingerprint,
man.
no fingerprint.
That's good stuff, man. That's good stuff. You know, I'm always about pouring into our women, pouring in. And sometimes it's real small things, sometimes it's big things, you know. There's a few things that I do that I think are special, but, you know, I never really take credit for them as special. I'm just trying to, you know, trying to help and support and love and all that other good stuff. But you got to pour in, fellas. That's that's where it's all about. And I really like the fact how you made that phone call. See, that phone call, for you guys sitting in your living room wondering what you going to do tomorrow, pick up the phone. Stop sitting around wondering what you would say and be in the mirror acting like you in the club.
Knowing you ain't gonna walk up to that table, girl.
Knowing you ain't gonna walk up to that table. Now, it's probably good to practice in the mirror, but, you know, what it really takes is just enough gumption to pick up the phone and make a phone call. I promise you, she wants to hear from you. She wants to hear from you, dude. Whether she likes you or not, she's still gonna want to hear from you. And if you position it properly, she might not like you, but you might be able to work your way in, right? Ain't no...
Now, look.
Huh?
Now, for the male cornballs, we got some female cornballs too, though.
Okay.
Female cornballs. Your hands and your mouth work even when there's a stop sign on the street. Listen, I don't really want to hear that it's that time. Listen, you grown, we grown. You want something, I would advise you to stop asking and be more creative. Come home.
Yes.
Let that man come in the room and put that leg on the bed and start lotioning them up. Put that Janet Jackson Anytime on in the background. Set the mood. Call that man into the living room for no reason at all when the kids are asleep. Say, baby, come lay your head right here next to mama. And just put his head in the right place and start moving his head. He'll figure out what to do after that. Women, stop making that man have to chase you. A cornball up, you keep making that man do every first move. Get your grown woman on, man. Pull your freak out. Pull the heels out, man.
Man, you laid.
That's a class of freak nature.
I like that, bro. I like that. Because, yeah, there are a lot of female cornballs, right? I hear dudes talk about their wives all the time.
Nope.
They cornballs because they don't do nothing. They come home and they, you know, get in that old robe and old hat and, you know. Yeah, it ain't supposed to go down like that. You got to try and keep it a little new, a little fresh.
Come on, man.
Just a little bit. It ain't got to be, you know, once you in the sack, everything else is great. Right? But if there's been a little love poured in here and there on the outside, a little salt and pepper shade, you got something special.
Hey, here go another move for female cornballs. Listen, female cornballs. Come home. Baby, let me talk to you in the back room right quick. Either give him some before, or just get him in the bed. And, you know, try to rub his shoulders. Baby, why you don't take your shirt off? It's kind of hot in here. Oh, baby, come on, man. You don't need that in there right now. Just take those off. And get in the bed and have that same conversation you wanted to argue and nag about it in the bed underneath the covers. I guarantee you won't be an argument. I guarantee y'all be able to work that whole situation out a whole lot faster.
That's
with a credit card you did not need to use, have that conversation in the bed while y'all both naked. That conversation will go a whole lot smoother. Right?
Listen, you just revolutionized arguing, my friend. Listen, the key, you should argue naked. That's the key to the whole equation. If you will argue naked, I promise you, there won't be no disappointments later on that night. I like that, bro.
If it's really worth that argument, and whether they closed or unclosed, it ain't gonna bother you.
Yeah.
But when they're naked and it's right in front of you, you gonna really think, is it really that important right now? I get over this. Like this right quick.
Hey, listen.
We talk about that later.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
This is what I picture, man. I picture a couple like getting ready to have this discussion, and it starts to get heated, right? Mm-hmm. And the man says, "You know what, baby? I think you need to take your clothes off. I'm getting upset right now."
See, no, it's not gonna work that way. It don't work that way.
Yeah, it ain't gonna work that way.
They heated,
yeah.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah.
This is why I'm addressing the female cornballs.
Yeah.
Women, listen. Now, men argue different than women. Men, when we argue, women can shut us down. They ain't really hearing it. You gotta be on some real grown man pimping to calm a female down when she hot. For females,
Right.
if you want to argue, if you got something that you want to get out of him that he is just not budging on, have that same conversation in the bed while you're naked.
Okay.
Well, matter of fact, wait till that Friday night come out and you put that dress on.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever dress you know he like, put that dress on. I don't care if you're going to Walmart. I don't care if you just leaving the house for an hour to spin the block and then come back home. But put the dress on.
Right.
And ask him that same crap. So, baby, you really not going to stop talking to that girl? I guarantee, baby, I don't even like that girl like that. You know, she ain't even ever put in my life right now, baby. This is me and you. So put the dress on and have the same conversation. And win the argument, same terms. And it messes up your hair and you get to do it all over again. Hey, this is...
I like that. I like that. Now let me ask you this question. I like that. Here's a question for you. As you probably already know, tonight's subject is about oral sex and raw dogging. Would you let your inner... Hold on. I gotta finish the question. You know, we take every subject and we try to tie it down. So oral sex...
We good with the topic right there.
No. We not.
Oral sex and raw dog?
No.
Right there. What's up?
Okay, watch this. This is the loop, right? Oral sex and raw dogging. Would you let your inner freak out when casual dating?
Hell yeah. Oh, I was supposed to think about that? My bad.
Hell yeah.
Let me ponder on that. Hell yeah.
It's on your life on the line. Yeah, you're supposed to think about it. You know what I mean?
Stick it out there.
Yeah, go on out there. Yeah, go on out there.
Power drive. Go on here.
All right, now listen.
It'll freak get you in a lot of trouble.
There's two levels to the freak.
Okay.
Now, boom, we're not going to talk about the day, but you know what I'm talking about. It was one night, we ain't going to say no days, when you remember Shawty who was in the car, in the back seat, and you had to get that pickup from?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, I can freak you out in the back seat of the car. That don't mean you finna get the candles and the whip stuff. There's two levels of this freak you can get.
Okay. And
I don't give every random girl that. First thing first, I don't put my face down in every cookie. I know I talk that game, but it's got to be special cookie for me to put my face there, because any bumps I'm busting your head.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm loving clean.
That's what I'm talking about.
So no, that's honestly got true. So I don't put my face in every pie, because every pie ain't clean.
Right.
So what I will say is though, but when I do go to that pie town, oh boy, I'm in that pie town. I'm turning her into a Marvel superhero.
Me
I'm having her
too.
climbing up the walls like she's Spider-Woman.
Right.
Like, I'm playing them type game.
Right.
But then with the other girls, the random ones, I might bust them in the parking lot. I might smash her in the living room while her friend on the couch just so her friend can watch. That's a different type of freak.
Yeah, that's a different type of freak. Yeah, that's a different type of freak.
Bro,
And
what you know about having you chilling with your partner, you have old girl playing little stuff on the couch. We ain't saying no names though. You know what I'm saying?
You're snitching.
Right.
Yeah, but what he's saying is you definitely got to
What y'all
change
saying?
the game.
It's two different types of freaks in this game.
Yeah, listen, and there may be several types of freaks, right?
There's more than we
Yeah,
know.
there's probably more than, there's definitely more than I'm aware of. So I got some growth in my freak, and I'm okay with that. it's like a college degree I need to get, and I'm looking forward to it, but I ain't got there yet.
I'm missing some degrees because some
me
people do
too.
some things I ain't doing, like whipping. I ain't freaky like that, bro.
yeah,
You
I'm
ain't
not-
beating the hell out of me.
I don't get into all that, but there are people who do, and they sell a lot of those kind of toys.
And so as far as that go, yeah. As far as the head though, oh, she could give me the head in the car, whatever. That's casual dating, whatever. Raw dogging should never. Let me cornballs. HIV is on a rampant rate in the city of Atlanta. No disrespect to my city, but it is rather ridiculous.
Yeah.
The STD rate is ridiculous.
Yes, it
There is no reason. I don't care what educational video I told you to watch. There is no reason. You better use Magnum, Lifestyle, Trojan, Lambskin. There is no reason.
So
no
Ram
reason
Ram.
strapped up while you are None.
None.
While you are casually dating,
Right.
there is absolutely none.
Now,
If you cannot say to that woman, hey, sweetheart, can we go on a date? Yeah, where we going? We going to the clinic to make sure we both have these clean results.
Right.
If you can't say that to her, then she is not the girl to be raw dogging with.
Right. Right. Now watch this. You just made a very unique distinction, and I think a distinction that many of us have been kind of living with and maybe contemplated most of our lives. You said there is a difference between oral sex and raw dogging, like the impact is different. The impact is different on the two. What is the difference in the impact? You can get oral sex, but you can't raw dog. What I don't understand. The same body, same person, same orifice, same, what's up?
No, man, it's different rules and principalities to it.
Okay.
So this is how we gonna kick stuff like this, right? Now, on some real talk, if I'm in the car and I pull it out and your jaw start working, hey, that's that. But as far as me putting my thing between that Xbox controller, nah, player, I'm strapping up short. I just gotta stay strapped up. You're not gonna get a kid out of me. 18 years of my life is not attached to that crazy. Because the better the sex, the crazier she is. That's just a God-given fact.
Okay, and so watch this. What if she wanna put a condom on you and give you head?
Hey, she gotta taste that flavor, not me.
Well, no, she gonna bring a good strawberry one with her. She ain't got to worry about that. But what she ain't gonna do is
she gotta taste that flavor, not me.
What she not gonna do
Whatever
is
flow her boat.
Listen,
as long as her jaw work,
listen.
if she get a little nasty with it, sound effects, play with it on the cheek and stuff, hey, she can do whatever she wants to. As long as she don't scratch with her teeth.
And so let me ask you this question, right? We all know the wonderful supernatural aura of oral sex, right? It is, it's a great thing, you know what I mean? Well, let's just go ahead and plant the seed in history,
What a fight.
right? But how do you feel about somebody early in the game if they give you oral sex without trying to put a condom on you? I mean, how you gonna enter into something with somebody who may easily be vulnerable? I mean, does that impact the way you feel about them?
Let me answer that with caution and care. Oh, sweetheart, we done went to the club. We done danced the whole night away. No, I'm still using the condom. Oh, you want to suck it in the car? Oh, you want to suck it right here? Oh, let your jaw work the way God intended for it. That's I'm not disagreeing with you on none of that.
Okay.
Use your oral dictation.
Okay.
I'm up for the test. What's happening?
Now listen.
Now, as far as men go, men do not go down on every female. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it.
But listen, I gotta capture this point now. I need to
It's
know.
different for men and women.
Okay, I get that. How do you feel about her? If she might be bad, you know what I'm saying? Down pieces do the same thing that everybody else do. So, she give you head the first night she meets you. 30 minutes after you meet her, an hour after you meet her. And so, does that change your potential to have a relationship? I mean, see, we're talking about casual dating, and we're talking about, we're talking about casual dating, and we're talking about, hold on, we're talking about casual dating, and we're talking about inner freak. And so, her inner freak came out. Does that change the status of the dating? Does that change the dating?
No.
You still have a relationship with her.
No. It don't if she show me her inner freak, well, hey, sweetheart, how you doing? Come back and visit me any chance you want to. That don't bother me none.
So would you entertain a relationship?
Like, be 100. When we see certain females with the lip gloss popping and them lips is hitting, the first thing in your mind is not her kissing you on the mouth, but her kissing you with someone else with them lips. That's what we call DSLs.
Yeah, and
she got them suckers.
We got it.
She good with this shit. If she good with talking into the mic, well then by all means, sweetheart, talking to the mic, I'm probably gonna call you later on this week. And this thing that went from once a week is going down to 3 a week. 3 a week. Mine's gonna hit like a couple times on a goddamn weekend. So I mean, your good oral skills may help you out a lot.
Watch this, folks. Listen, the point I was attempting to make, I'm always kind of edging toward things just so that I get dialogue going. But the point I was trying to make is that your inner freak can cause your potential relationship to die. And so if you let your inner freak come out that first night, that now he's not going to probably want to entertain you as his lady. He might not trust you enough, because if you did it once, you probably did it before. And so now I can't entertain you as my lady. But listen, I made that point. I want you to come back with us, man. I want you to come back with us. We got to take a break. We're already over time now. As you can see, folks, we're talking about a real subject. And we're trying to bring some love to it, some healing.
Don't bring the inner freak out on the first date. So don't be trying to lick the man's crack and stuff on the first date. Yeah, you're right. That's in the whole relationship. You try that with me on the first date. You are so right.
Yeah.
Crap, I agree.
Okay.
She started touching the wrong thing on the first night.
Right, that's my point. We're talking about casual dating and inner freak. Your inner freak will end your casual dating, right?
Now,
so
question,
we gotta take a break. Y'all hold on.
We're gonna come back at 8 o'clock. You get on the street. I want to bring you back at 8 o'clock. You gonna go on the street?
Man, come on, hit me up. Hey,
got it.
We want to talk about this because we know you got a lot to say about this. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. That's a deep conversation.
Oh, it's gonna get deep. We got people in the audience. We got guests tonight
in the studio.
What?
Yes.
We're about to do some things.
Thank you, ladies, for being here with us tonight.
But before I go any further, we gotta find out about this person that's about to come up next. This person right here had a bad day. We all gonna feel it. We need to know how his day went. So Jeffrey, how you doing, big baby?
Brother Jay, Brother Craft, how you over there doing, fellas?
My man.
We doing all right. We worried about you.
We doing just lovely, my brother. Just lovely, man. And how are you tonight?
Oh, man, it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Work went well. My granddaughter loved me. My kids love me. Everything is looking perfect. But, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view.
Okay.
Now, I need y'all to understand I got one reason for the habitually single woman, and I got one reason for the habitually single man. That's why you might be single. But before we get into that, here is my disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. And if it does apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe. But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around it, because you're about to learn something tonight. Now, ladies, you go first.
All right.
All right, ladies, some of y'all single simply because you keep looking for a reason to leave. I need you to understand exactly what I'm saying. See, you can find a man that does everything right, but the minute he call you up and say, hey, I'm running a little late because traffic, you start thinking, he probably leaving some other chick house. You're looking for a reason to leave. I mean, you can have a man that learns, that wants to take you out, he wants to wine and dine you, and he offers to pay. But here you go arguing with him because he offers to pay because you feel like, oh, he just trying to control me. You looking for a reason to leave instead of relishing the reasons to stay that this man is presenting you with. I need you to understand me, ladies. Your focus is bad. Your focus is bad because your intuition hasn't been calibrated in quite some time. Your intuition isn't calibrated because you've been going from relationship to relationship to relationship without working on your inner spirit. So when your intuition is off, it has you looking at the right things the wrong way. Take some time to work on yourself. Take some time to get those old relationships out of your system. And watch your decision-making skills and your intuition fall right back in place. But you still running around with that old broke-ass, ugly-ass intuition that you got, that you trusted in, and that's why your ass is single.
For a very long time. Okay.
That's good, man. That's really good. That's really good. You know what's interesting about that,
What's
man?
that crap?
I kind of felt like he was talking to me.
What?
Yeah, man, you know, my situation in my relationship, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I'm not necessarily following that pattern, but I can hear my special someone saying that to me.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? I can hear that. And so, you know, that's what this show is all about. It's about self-check and really finding some ways to open yourself up.
Well, it
to
sounds like
greater
if she's saying that to you, she needs self-check. Shit, that ain't you, bro. Back to the source, bro. Gotta help her out, you know.
Perhaps.
We are a
Listen,
show of helping.
This is one of the things I really like about this show. I get to kind of just sum up the good stuff, right? And he talked about calibrating your intuition.
Oh yeah.
Man, I love that. That's profound. That's Nobel Peace Prize type stuff. And you know, I mean, in fact, rather than me explain it, would you please explain calibrating your intuition again, Brother Jeffrey?
All right, what you got to do, ladies, is you have to take time out between relationships to work on yourself. Now, here's a general rule of thumb. For every year that you were in that relationship, for every 6 months you were in that relationship, that equates to a month of work that you need to do to purge that relationship out of your system. So, and I'm not talking about somebody you just dated. I'm talking about somebody that you was real with, somebody that got to see you take your damn wig off. I mean, a real relationship. And when you have that going on, if you don't cleanse that person out of your system, it throws your intuition off, and you have to have it recalibrated. It's just like a car.
Yeah.
You got to keep your car tuned up. You got to keep your spark plugs changed, your transmission fluid changed, your oil changed.
Yeah.
Rotate and balance your damn tires.
Right.
Your body and your psychic is no different. You got to recalibrate to make sure that intuition is on point.
It goes back to alignment. Since you mentioned that car, make sure your alignment. That's what wear them tires out too now. You can rotate them up. If you don't get that alignment, I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna tear them up quick.
They be
to
gone.
get yourself back calibrated.
Yeah.
And that's part of it. When you align yourself correctly.
And-
so Jeffrey, you was on that one.
And we'll give it back to you, my friend.
All right, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook.
Oh darn.
Fellas, you are next.
Wow.
Okay.
All right, fellas. Now, you might be single simply because you don't give a reason, give a woman a reason to stay with your ass. I need you to understand what I'm saying. She is fighting for you, but you a damn runner. She is trying to invest and pour into your dreams, but you ain't nothing but a dreamer.
Mm-hmm.
She has a vision for you. She got somewhere she can take you, but you can't see worth nothing, and you wear glasses. She is trying to give to you, but you ain't nothing but an emotional vampire. You don't give a woman a reason to stay. So what happens is this: once she has tried so much, what she has invested so much, she's gonna wisen up. And she's gonna say, you know what, I keep giving my good energy, my good loving, my good power to the wrong person that's wasting on the ground.
Yes.
This dude is not worthy. And what happens is, when a woman leaves you because she recognizes that she's tired of playing, she ain't never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference now. She might be mad at you when she leaves you. You might get a chance to come back if you change your behavior.
Right.
But when she's done, she is done.
Mm.
And so what you do is you jump right to the next, and jump right to the next, and jump right to the next one, because no woman will stay with you long enough for you to try to fill that empty hole, that bottomless hole that's inside of you that you can only fill.
Mm.
So fellas, this is where you have to do some inner work. Where you have to take that little boy that got hurt in elementary school or high school, or that little boy that's missing his father or his mother. You got to do the inner work to build that little boy up, to let him be a man. And once that little boy grows up, and you man up, well, then maybe your ass will stop being single.
For a very long time.
Very long time.
That was yeah, you had a rough day at work there, Jeffrey. all the men out there saying you ain't got to be like that cold, bruh.
Listen, one of the things I like, emotional vampire.
Oh yeah, they rob you.
And listen, as much as we talking about the fellas, here once again we can turn that around. That both parties can be emotional vampires. That means, you know, boy, I tell you what, close to home, man. Close to home. Close to home.
Close to everybody.
It's close to home, yeah.
When you really look at it, because a lot of times you don't look at the fact that you got out of one relationship and you might have got right back in another one because somebody that's caught your eye.
Yeah.
You don't always evaluate a time limit. He gave you a formula. So that's one of the things that I appreciate with Jeffrey, because again, some people are like, how much time do you take? He gave you. If you was in a serious relationship, this ain't just like regular dating. But like you said, somebody, you took your wig off, you took your teeth out. Okay?
Right.
That's an important person. So you give you 6 months. That gives you a month. So you was with them for 6 months. It takes at least a month
Right.
of you being by yourself. So a whole year, that's easy, 2 months. Now this is just a small equation. You gotta apply it and not run after somebody else in this time frame, because then you can really look at yourself and you can add more value to you before you start adding or devaluing another relationship, because all you're doing is carrying baggage.
There you go.
And that's all that is. It's
There you
purging. Purging that bull crap out.
There you go. And with that, we'll hand it back to you, Brother Jeffrey.
All right, so here's what I want everybody to understand. There is no one who escapes childhood without some type of trauma. Nobody. So what I need you to recognize, men and women, is that we have a deep responsibility to handle what we can handle while building up our children. That means being responsible mothers and fathers. That means being responsible role models for children that aren't ours. That means acknowledging our own shortcomings and letting everybody know that, hey, we're not perfect, but we're striving to do better every day. So what I need you to understand, people, is it takes grown people to raise productive children. It takes mature people to raise productive children. You ain't even got to be married no more. But if you can acknowledge and respect the role that that person has in your child's life and treat it accordingly, well, you can raise some productive children that go on to live healthy, productive lives as adults. And once we start raising our children to be adults, then they'll start to build on the foundation that we set in our community. And once we keep building this foundation and they add the framework to the house, then their children can add the sheetrock and the brick, the four-sided brick to the house. And then their children can put furniture, and the generations just grow and the wealth just keeps building, and then our communities will be restored to the rightful place that they deserve to be. And that's all I got.
That's all. That's drop the mic material. That's
I
all.
just dropped the mic, man. I just dropped the
Now,
mic.
go ahead and give him the topic, 'cause I want to see how his mouth dropped.
Okay, Brother Jeffrey, just please, we want to hear from you on this subject.
Mm-hmm.
It goes like this. Oral sex and raw dogging. Would you let your inner freak out when casual dating?
Hell no. Here's the thing, man. You know, casual dating is cool, but I try not to unleash the dragon on nobody I'm dating casually, because they don't do nothing but mess their head up. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, and I mean this with nothing but respect to the ladies. Ladies, you can be as tough as you want to be. You can be as independent as you want to be. If the right man walks up on you and he moves your body physically the right way, your ass is going to turn into jello. Your ass is going to get obsessive. Or you're going to start to have long-term aspirations by the second date.
Yes.
So for me, I choose not to, because I want to make sure, first of all, that you can handle the dragon, and second of all, that you have the emotional wherewithal to deal with a king like me. Because if you ain't queen material, well, damn it, you ain't ready to be with a king.
For a very long
For a
time.
very long time.
All
Man,
right.
let me tell you, I recall actually on several occasions that I refrained because I did not think she could handle. I did not think that she would act right. You know, the game would change, and I didn't really want the game to change, and so I refrained. And I'm glad I did for other reasons now.
Me too.
But I saw it rightly.
I'm glad you did too, because I caught it wrong. I went ahead and gave it to her. And Heifer went crazy. Definitely so right. I did. I was like, oh, she can handle it. She right there. She right there with me.
Yeah.
I had the heifer down there Grady.
So you know, seemed like this real super fine girl, and she just had a horrible attitude, and you was like that. You just like, okay, if I give it to her, she gonna be that toward me, and I don't really want all that trouble. You never just refrained and said, nah.
I had to later, but there's times where I didn't see all that, and I didn't take enough time to look for that. it was like one of those moments where you like, yo, I'm about to tear this up. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't put
give
it
a
up.
damn what happened tomorrow.
You didn't, but you did. You know,
Yeah.
once you
So-
in it, you sense then when she grabbed you a certain way and looking, you know, when she opened her eyes and she looking dead at you, letting you know you uncomfortable.
Hey, listen.
Why you staring so
One of
hard?
my dad's favorite sayings, Junior, I don't need no problems.
Oh, I had problems.
I don't need no
Once I
problems.
hit that spot, I had problems.
Listen, we appreciate you, Brother Jeffrey. You always just blow it out the water, man, every single week. You're always with us on time, on point, with a great message. And we just want to thank you for who you are, man, and what you bring to the show. Anything you'd like to share with us before we get out of here?
Now, fellas, I appreciate everything, man, and happy Father's Day to you, brothers, and we're going to chop it up again next week.
All right, man. Happy
That sounds
Father's
like
Day
a
to you.
winner. That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, for everybody else out there, happy Father's Day again. Because by the time we come back, Father's Day will be over with. And all you women that want to do something nice for me and Craftmatic, I got Cash App. Bar Talk with Jay. Cash App. Oh yeah, because everybody can't take us out, so you go ahead and just pay for our food. You know, because again, we can't be with everybody, but we do take appreciation for what we do.
I'm not even interested or willing to ask, but I like the fact that you asked.
Yeah, no, this Cash App. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Don't, even though we take 20s in the mug, you know.
Yeah.
I want them $5 donations.
See, how I think it ain't just Cash App. It's like, somebody broke their back last week to get them extra $30, $40, $100 they would send, and we want to provide value.
I mean, I think the show gives you the value.
Okay.
I'm just saying if you can just add some equations, some funds behind it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, folks. Again, we're glad you're with us. We hope you enjoyed the show. We are going into the second half of the show where Jay and I just really get deep into the subject and try to bring out something meaningful for all of us. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay. My man Jeffrey did his thing like we always do.
He did. He touched my heart tonight. He touched my heart tonight, for real.
Man, he touched a whole lot of people. We slapped some folks. You better watch it, Jeffrey. You can talk the spit from the back of your head all out your mouth.
You know, we hear a lot of messages in life, but we don't hear very many direct messages. And when he speaks, he's talking directly to women or directly to men. And, in the midst of hearing him, you sift out you sift out your belief system, and you sift out what you've been through. You really get a chance to look in the mirror when you hear his comments. And man, I just love what he do every single week.
Motivational speaker. That's one of the things you do.
Powerful. And that's what this show is about, reflection. Self-reflection, your relationship reflection, your money situation reflection, your life reflection. How well did you do yesterday? How often do we ask ourselves that question? Just yesterday, how well did you do? How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10? You can't become better until you start seeing a bunch of 7s on the plate. Right? And you start seeing a bunch of 7s, you're going to be like, I'm leaving my life behind. I should have been had that done. I should have been started that business. I should have been got that degree. I should have been opened up to love and been out dating and doing other things in life. I should have been left this person because it mean me no good. We leave a lot of our potential on the table, when we don't self-reflect and when we don't, take a real measure of who we are and where we're going. We could be on the wrong path and never even take time to look at it.
Oh, yeah. And that's why you got to take that time. And that's what I loved about some of the things Jeffrey said. He gave you a formula. How many times do you hear somebody say, okay, you need to do this, but they don't even show you how? He actually broke it down and give you a formula. So if you was and again, it's not just that casual dating thing. Because when you got somebody, he said, take your wig off. That's key. Most women ain't gonna do that in front of you. I'm just saying, take that bonnet off, take them teeth out. Yeah. Going on tape. You got that situation right there. Oh, that's serious. Okay, that's a relationship.
Well, listen, if you see her smile, you know she got fake teeth, and you know she gonna want to take them out.
You know they fake when they on the table.
You don't want her to sleep with them and choke.
don't want her to fall out
So,
while she down
Give
here.
her a break. Say, listen, baby, I know we just got done with dinner. You need to clean your dishes. Go in there, take your teeth out, come on back in here, and let me love up on you,
Yeah.
right? Just turn the light out on
You
you.
love on me. You ain't got no teeth in it. Go ahead.
Listen, listen, you got to be old and grown, boy, to talk about
I
this.
don't think you gotta be homegrown to do that no more.
You know, young people don't have.
I seen young people that got man
Got
missing all
digits.
kinds. Boy missing that. Boy stop. I'm just trying to tell you, man.
Wow.
Everybody got that business program going on. Shoot.
So tonight, folks, we're talking about oral sex and raw dogging. Both have two very significant implications. And the question at hand is, would you let your inner freak out when casual dating?
Now, normally me and Kraft go in, but we got Jamal still on the line. Jamal, you out there in the streets, man. You got somebody that's gonna tell us something.
It's raining out here in the street.
Oh, it's raining.
It's super dead out here. It's raining.
Okay, it's raining. So I'm just
Let me say, from where we left off, I had to think about what you said for real. You know, I'm quick to react because I'm just a hoe like that. I mean, a freak like that. But
Okay.
nah, a woman can't bring out her inner. Nope.
No.
Can't bring out your inner freak in the beginning. Just can't bring it out in the
A
beginning.
woman can't, but a man can. Is that what you're saying?
Nope. I had to take that back. I had to take that back.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay, they're paying attention
So
too.
if-
They're paying attention too.
If you like playing with feathers, I don't advise you to bring that nowhere near the person on the first 10 to 20 days.
Okay. Unless it's a long weekend, you know, you might be able to pull it out on Saturday evening on a long weekend. You know.
If you have that question about adding somebody else to the party, I would advise you to do it in the very beginning
Right.
and watch that other person leave,
Right.
or wait till you've been there for a good while, like 7 to 8 months down the line, and everybody solidified.
Yeah, and so let's get to the crux of the subject. What we're talking about here is saving yourself. What we're talking about is creating an environment where you can be respected, where you will allow yourself the opportunity to be accepted, right? And if you go too hard, too early, if your inner freak comes out too early, you're going to get a label, and it's probably going to take an awful lot for that label to come off. Now, we all want to go in. There's no doubt that everybody wants to go in. I'm like, this girl, sometimes you feel that way, but you have to hold back. Number one, there are people who spend 30 years together and still don't know each other. So what makes you think that you're going to know this person, especially tonight? You know,
we're gonna know something.
we're gonna get some knowledge, but we ain't gonna get all the knowledge. You know what I'm saying?
all.
Bone said he gonna know something.
We're gonna know something.
We're gonna know
We're
something.
gonna know some performance. We're gonna
Okay,
grade that.
yeah, now performance.
I
is a
might
different
not know
story.
her. I know what she can do.
Yeah. So
Come on, Bone, get on.
So I'm gonna ask the question again. Let me
Okay.
just paraphrase here a little bit.
Go ahead.
So you meet a young lady
Uh-huh.
at the club.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Y'all
Okay,
remind 10, 11, 12,
Okay.
1, 2 o'clock. Y'all been
Right,
kicking it all night, having a
Right.
few drinks.
Right.
You both feeling the vibe to go and be somewhere together. And so you do so.
Uh-huh.
And, shortly after everybody have a drink and freshen up and chill, and she ready to go down on you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Do you entertain her? How does that change your thinking about her in that situation? Are you? Well, okay. I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that because it's still too early. It's still too early in the game to tell. But you certainly not gonna be like, oh man, I might have met Mrs. Kraft tonight. I might have met Mrs. Hogger.
I might not have been looking for Miss Hagerberg. I might have been looking for Miss Head. That's what I'm gonna do what she doing. If that's what she gonna do, I'm gonna hey.
Sometimes I don't want a whole dinner. Sometimes oodles and noodles will do.
Right. Well, see, I mean, I think there's a difference. There's a difference in the type of dating that we're all doing. You know what I mean? Because I probably wouldn't be interested in dating. If I was single, I wouldn't be interested in dating really just for casual dating per se. You know, I probably need to take some months, you know what I'm saying, based on the term of my relationship.
Yeah, you gotta,
I probably
you gotta
need
ask
a
some
certain
stuff
amount
up,
of
yeah,
time, you know.
by yourself.
But for the most part, you know, I'm not gonna be out casual dating like that. I'm gonna be out getting, you know, meeting people and interested people, and you know, each person gets put in a little bitty category that, you know what, yeah, I think we can talk for a while. I'd like to get to know you. I'm cool with that. And then when I say I'd like to get to know her, I'm probably gonna cut everybody else off, and I'm gonna start focusing on my attention on that. I'm gonna end the casual dating scenario, right? Not even for her sake, but for my own sake, right? So I stay within integrity. That'll be my thing. So it won't be no oral sex and raw dogging for me, pretty much, unless she my lady.
Wait a minute.
Unless we've been together for a while, you know.
She can't go down on you unless she your lady?
No, I'm not gonna stop her. You said it
No, I was
right.
about to
Listen,
say.
you said it right the first time.
Okay, I was
But
about
when
to
she
say.
does it, she puts herself in a different category. When she does it, it's not. Especially if she do it real good and get real dirty with it.
Right. And when you talk about a different category, hell, she moved up the ladder. What the hell you talking about?
I'm immediately gonna be like, oh, okay, that's her station
Now, wait a minute,
identification.
bro. This is
Yes.
why I gotta play devil's advocate. You ready?
Okay.
Because what happens when we get one of them grown sisters who not sweating a brother,
Mm-hmm.
don't need the entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
but she just want to let her freak out and then go back to corporate America and handle her business the way she's supposed to.
Right. Right.
There's
And
no
that's-
females that
and
just
you know
might
what, that's a wonderful
let
thing.
my girl out and let her do her thing.
Right. Now,
Doesn't mean she's a hoe.
right.
She just may have some skills that they need practicing,
But-
tuning up.
Yeah, and just to make it relevant, we're talking about making a clean-cut decision that this ain't no dating relationship. We're not going to be together forever. This is just somebody who I believe I can trust enough to raw dog or have oral sex with. I believe I can trust her enough. I believe I can trust her enough. Because listen, that's what it comes down to. When you look at all of it, you're asking yourself, when you're looking at that person or you hanging out with them before you go and do that, you're kind of asking yourself, do I trust this person enough to do that? And a lot of times those thought processes get confused because they're beautiful or they fine or they got money or they're treating you a certain kind of way, and all of a sudden your thought process gets shifted and you start trusting things that really aren't relevant, because the reality is that if they got HIV, you ain't gonna know it by looking at them.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So you done made a
That's
decision.
right.
You done made a decision to give them head or to go down on them, and they just fine and beautiful. But then they got that ninja waiting on you. So it's those decisions that we make are oftentimes extremely shallow decisions. And what I would like to come out of this show is us all agreeing on that. Because listen, how do we make the world a better place? I think we're talking about something that gets a lot of people in trouble. We're talking about making decisions about trading juices and being overly aggressive in sexuality when you don't know people. And it happens way too often, and it gets a lot of people in trouble. From having children that they shouldn't have, to diseases, to blowing families and relationships. I think, I'll leave it at that. I got another point I want to make. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you made some valuable points.
Yeah.
And again, we do want people to start thinking about some of the things that they do.
Yeah.
But somebody giving you head, at that point, I ain't really thinking. I'm just trying to anticipate. Is she good, bad? Would she need some
The
improvement?
man isn't thinking, and perhaps the woman isn't thinking. Is the woman thinking?
Oh, she thinking because she down there.
So-
she know what she's
So
doing.
watch
She
this, man.
thinking.
I know
So.
y'all might not want to get on the mic, but
What?
if a woman is in a situation, it's
she
like
get
first
ready?
night, first couple of dates, and y'all start becoming intimate, and all of a sudden he go down, and usually he gonna be gone before you get a chance to grab him or before you get a chance to say anything to him. Are you thinking something there? Are you saying like, whoa, that's a little early? Hey, what you doing? Hey,
No.
Oh, it feels good,
She
but
not-
I don't know about this brother right here.
Okay, this is what happen. This is gonna happen, fellas. You go down on a woman too early, she already know you thirsty, and she know you done did that to just about any other female that came around.
Okay.
So you're gonna lose all respect if you do that.
Okay.
Don't do no stupid crap, like trying to jump down on girls.
So, are you suggesting that she's not going to lose respect if she goes down on the man?
She gonna lose all respect for that man.
She gonna lose.
So is the man gonna lose
goes
respect?
down on a female too early. Why would she respect that man?
I agree. I totally agree.
Target.
I'm trying to understand now. Is the woman?
The way I was taught like this: a woman going down on a man is putting her mouth on something. A man going down on a woman is him putting his face in something. The amount of things that go in and out of a woman's vagina, or the blood and the bacteria and all that, and then you put that towards your face. There's nothing special. There's nothing intimate. There's nothing private if you do that with every female. There has to be something you go back to your woman and say, baby, I only do this for you.
Okay, I like that. Now answer this question for me. Are you suggesting that the man doesn't have a tendency to lose respect for the woman in the same way?
Bro, unless she teabagging you on the first night, then no, bro. Because, I mean, if we get down and popping, if she don't do it, I'm looking at her like she basic. I'm really looking at her like, yo, you born as ever.
If she doesn't do it, you see her in some kind of way. You feel some kind of way because she doesn't do it.
You basic. Like, if I just want vanilla ice cream, well, just vanilla ice cream. I want pistachio. I want a little mocha latte with my ice cream today. Like, spice it up, man.
Okay.
I
gotta jump in. I gotta jump in on this one.
Go ahead.
Because I feel Jamal all the way. I like the fact he like his cocoa, mocha, or whatever cappuccino he like to be sucking on this every time you down. Him nasty. Because again, I like to say yes, you might want to, but in the back of my head, I gotta be honest. I'm not jumping down. It is just me. I'm not just eating any of that. If we go out, we get drunk, we get wild. I'm not following my face down in your stuff. That's just not my motto. That's not what I do. So if we get drunk, I'm not expecting her to jump down on me either. Don't get me wrong.
I like that, Jay.
The fact that she will make me sit back and have to evaluate. If she's drunk and she's doing a good job, I ain't stopping. I'm not. But hold on, don't you reach up trying to kiss me.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to wake you up, because you're doing a lot right now.
Yeah.
But you're doing a good job. Go ahead, do your thing. But I'm just saying, I didn't ask for all this. You give me, and then she goes, well, you gonna do me? No, play. Because that's not what I do.
Right.
I ain't trying to stop you because this is obviously how you flow. We just trying to engage this night and enjoy each other, but everything is not for everybody.
Right.
I like to say some people got to stay strong because some people feel like she did me, I got to do her. Well, that's your creed, your motto. Some people jump down for that. My whole thing is, if you just casually dating, you just meet me, you don't know. That's why we got a lot of things go on. I don't want to be a hypocrite because it ain't for me to be talking. I got 5 kids, okay? I ain't get 5 kids because the condom broke 5 times, okay? That's a lie. Somewhere along the line, you outward raw dog. So ain't no need of me being a hypocrite. And that's the problem with people today. We get out here and we talk one way, and you know your ass do the same thing. So can we talk more intelligently? Because when my kids come to me and they ask me some things, I gotta tell them some real truth.
Right.
No birds and the bees. I'm sorry, birds and the bees ain't gonna make how y'all didn't come from no birds and bees.
Right.
Your mama wasn't looking at no bird. I'm telling you right now. I put her to sleep. She was counting some sheets, but she damn sure counting no birds. I'm just trying to help them out. Because again, that's when you put it down.
We gotta take another break, y'all. We gotta stay tuned. We're gonna be back with more Bar Talk.
We're gonna get back with you, Jamal.
We got Jamal with us, and this segment is so hot, man. I'm loving what we're talking about. It's kind of therapeutic and hopefully inspiring to someone who might end up going down the wrong road. Just stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Nobody from the street gave some good commentary on his side.
Yes.
How he felt about the situation. We went back and forth. I got some people in the audience though. I'm trying to get them because I like to get a female point of view. I think me and Kraft is definitely talking around the table, which would be fair. But I like to make sure we have the other side to be able to say some things. Because again, we're not trying to do no more than to enhance your relationship and what you're doing. It's not about us saying what to do.
Right.
But if we can sit here and tell you a story and get you to reflect on your own life, you might be able to get change.
Yeah.
And one of the things we want to do is enhance.
Yeah, and you know, here's my vision
What's your
for
vision?
this show. What's going on with Facebook?
Looping, having all kind of fun. You know, the devil busy. The
devil's busy. Yeah, here's my vision of this show. That you may have heard the word inner freak, but you really hadn't entertained what it means.
Okay.
And so for anybody who has listened to this show, I'm hoping that they put certain qualities or certain behaviors in the category of inner freak.
Okay.
And realize that you cannot give your inner freak away to somebody who you might want to know, who you might want to have a long-term relationship. There is a time to make that happen. And the time is usually, going to take a little while. You'll know when the time is right, but if you do it too early, man, you're just going to be setting yourself up for some judgment and maybe pushing yourself away from the person who you're having a great time with right at the moment.
I like to say you're totally right, but again, when you're younger, you don't always think that way. So a lot of times you're just trying to learn and you're doing, and it's just like an old school saying, don't run down, walk down. I ain't understood what that meant until I got a little bit older. But I've been hurted, so I didn't know how to apply it. And that's how I like to say sometimes the story is told in riddles that you don't understand, and they feel like you got to mature to understand. But when I'm young, that don't help me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep on running. I'm going to keep on doing. And that's what we running into a situation when you run into a person and you're not always thinking about what we just talking about. So you let her go down, raw dogging and doing some things, and you start having sex with multiple people, raw dogging. And then again, in the ATL, and one of the things I want to say, when everybody say the ATL is, HIV is high, just understand the testing is here. A lot of things is going on in Atlanta, and that draws people here. So don't just look at the stats as so many people, because they come here for the testing. They got a lot of free things going on. They got trials and clinics. So again, that's going to make this place like that. So now that's not saying that we don't have safe sex. No, I'm just trying to give you reasons why the number is so high. Okay? Because if you come in here for testing, you come in here for the trials, you're going to affect the numbers here.
Yeah, and the statistics go like this. When I first read the statistics, it suggested that there was 25% of black women in Atlanta were HIV positive. That's how the statistic read, and that's why we get bamboozled by statistics sometimes and we start looking down on ourselves. But what it suggests, what the reality is that only that 25% of the black women tested. Right? That's how we get caught up in semantics. 25% of the black women tested were HIV positive, right? So, those stats, but even when you hear that, it's staggering, 25%. We only represent 12 or 13% of the population, and 25%, to think that 25% of black women in Atlanta are HIV positive would be atrocious. But the reality is that there's a lot of unprotected sex going on in the world.
And I like to say, even when it happens, you can back up. You don't have to continue. I mean, everybody has a moment where things happen. Get it. Just understand because of the stats and what goes on. You got to make sure you understand you.
Yeah. Let me tell you a couple of little stories. Without being too overbearing.
I mean, go ahead.
It's a good story, though. It's a good story, right? So I'm in college, and I've been watching this young lady for about a year. Never really even spoke to her, never walked by her or anything. And I don't know, something, it just happened that we were in the same place at the same time, and we had a chance to talk, and she was real cool. We caught up, and we dated, basically, talked on the phone, because she lived a little ways away from the city. She just came in to go to college every day, right? Okay. So we dated and talked for a couple of months, and maybe even a few months, and then the night came for me to come and hang out with her at her house, and we was going to be alone, and for whatever reason, neither of us had a condom.
Ooh.
And you know, there had to be some decisions to be made. there was some decisions to be made that night.
So you had a what yo?
This girl was beautiful like Natalie Cole. You know what I'm saying? Just chocolate, just beautiful. You know what I mean? And everything about her was just to my liking.
Right.
But there was no way in the world I was going in without a condom. And I was 20-something years old.
Right. But there was
I was not going to go raw. Period.
Okay.
You know, and now we did look for some saran wrap.
See, that's a real dude right there. See, Kraft is a real dude. If you ain't had a situation, you had one, and you ain't trying to correct one, because I know I did, and that's a rare right. That shit do not work.
Yeah, you can't get the tension right.
No, you know, it don't cling. It don't cling to the
But listen, by the time you concentrate on getting it round, it's gone down.
I try to go around and around me, you know, to keep it supported.
Listen, too many layers frustrate you.
Bro,
You got to get the rap right in a couple of raps, not 3 or 4.
No,
not
just
a dozen,
Wednesday,
right?
no time.
That's important, right? But the point is even as a young man, I knew that it was absolutely against the rules to go raw. You cannot go raw, ladies. You cannot allow the guy to go raw, no matter how hot and busy it is. Somebody get up and go get a condom. And I was gonna get up and go get a condom, but the stove was probably 5 miles away because she lived out in the country. And it was cold. It was super cold that night. It was so cold. I mean, she went and asked the sisters and the cousins and called the neighbor around the street. Nobody had no condom. I said, Lord, it just wasn't meant to be. Just wasn't meant to be, man.
So
But
did you ever hit it?
never did, man.
Never?
Never came
It
back.
wasn't meant for you to hit that, did you?
No, well, you know, I don't know about that.
Bro, it could have been. You ain't never did it.
It was just a gift I didn't pick up. You know what I'm saying? I can't go back and pick it up, but you know.
That was a gift probably wasn't worth
it wouldn't have changed my life if I, you know, if I'd have gave it up. But
sometimes you gotta let it go, bro. I mean, everything ain't
now,
for everybody.
and here's another thing that seems to happen.
What's that?
In my world, I got some buddies who would beg to differ on this subject, but it seemed like the younger women were more quick to oral sex. Right? The older women, you know, it's got to be your birthday. You know, it's got to be some special times. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate our 1-year anniversary.
That's the only time you.
I mean, I'm just recognizing the pattern, right? That the younger women go in, and one of the things that I noticed a few times, right? And I'm kind of, you know, sharing my story, but hell, and I'm just in the name of good, right? That
I'm up next.
the young woman we would have sex, and maybe it's great nighttime sex, and the next morning she feel like she know me well enough to go down on me, right? So the decision happens after we get a little closer, but it's still way too early in the game, right? I don't know, maybe they think they feel cozy enough or comfortable enough at that point to be able to do it, you know, after they done had a little sex, that is now okay to turn the inner freak on a little bit more. In some cases that happens, right? I've known several women that the toy doesn't come out until the second or third date. And then, you know, then they'll bring it out and introduce it to the, you know, the situation. You know, it takes, you know, but the inner freak is going to come out. If you are having relations with someone, every time I say that word, I think of Eddie Murphy. Relations. If you are having relations with someone, the inner freak is bound to come out. But you got to make sure that you protect the environment, right? You can't go too hard in the paint early in the game, because again, you lose respect.
I agree, but since you gave your story, I'm gonna give you.
Yeah,
You said about the young ones. I will agree. A lot of the young ones, yes, because I was in a situation where I was talking to one, and she just straight up like, "You never mentioned you want me to go down." Because we was just talking.
Yeah.
Just talking like what we was gonna do, but we wasn't doing anything.
Right.
And since I didn't mention it, she just like, since you didn't mention it, you like it? You want me to do it? I'm sitting there like, I mean, that's what you do. I mean, do you know what you're doing? I mean, don't do. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, we can just have sex.
Well,
I like have sex.
Please try.
But no. If you don't know what the hell, don't. I had bad experience with trying. Hell no. This ain't no punching bag, no bean bag. This ain't for everybody.
Just a little pressure on the forehead. That's all.
No, ain't no pressure. If you don't know how to keep your jaws open, you need to not do it. So
Okay.
I don't know what your preference is. I don't know what your likes is. So I don't always push for that. My whole thing is if you're just dating and it's just casual, I'm not pushing you to do anything. Because again, anything given to me is just given out of the graces of your heart, and that's just how it should be. It's no rape, it's no, and I like to say no pressure. But when they're doing it and they're doing their thing, right? And I'm like, okay, you know, you're doing your thing, you know. So we get going and get the condom, and we have, you know, and I'm like, okay, we did that. It was cool. And she went after I got mine, you know, and I'm trying to clean up. She back down there again.
Clean.
No, second.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got so much feeling right about now. My head was ready to pop.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Now, obviously you done did this, but playing with the balls.
Playing
I'm
with
back there.
balls,
I'm like, okay, now, and this is a young girl. I'm like, listen,
That's her.
I ain't even trying to like you like that, but
Right.
I'm liking you. I'm really getting into you, all
I'm
right?
really feeling your point.
I
right now,
really
bro.
I didn't want to see you like this,
Yeah.
but I might have to see you again. This is therapeutic. I did not know it was going to be this way.
Right.
And she looking at me like, this is what I do. And I'm sitting there like,
Young girls go in.
what? Oh.
Go in, man.
Because
It's really. It's
obviously you have some skills here that you acquired
Yeah.
from somewhere.
somewhere. TV
And
videos.
I was not expecting it. This you are, and what I really like is like they're young and it's like yo, this is like regular.
So watch this. Let's change the game up a little bit.
Well, why we change it? That was a good game.
Could you be with a person who didn't give you oral sex?
Yes. I mean,
I like
I
that.
have had sex with a lot of. I've had great sex without oral sex. Oral sex don't have to happen. Don't get me wrong.
So your wife
It is one of the who?
Your wife.
Hold on, man. We ain't going that far. I
Is
say
it-
in a relationship
No.
or in dating.
No,
My
I'm saying
wife?
if your wife don't
Oh
give
hell
you
no!
head.
I ain't say that far. You
Well,
go
that's
too
what I'm
far.
asking you. Would you be with a woman who wouldn't give you head?
Nah, we ain't going that far. I said don't have to like on us brother. We ain't talking hell no. You got me fucked up. You going? There's gonna be some things experimented with.
You see,
but
this
I'm
is
just
the
saying.
perfect
No,
example
I'm
of
just
how we
saying up
miscommunicate.
front. I don't always require that.
Right.
I don't like some people gotta have that to get going. I don't, man. If I feel you're beautiful and you are, I'm stimulated. So I don't have to have that. Some people gotta have that to get
Listen,
going, to get their trained,
and
their mojo going.
nobody can make you do what you don't want to do. But what about the woman who's a little more aggressive about you giving her oral sex? How do you deal with that? What do you say to that?
I don't have to do with it. She aggressively want it, and she can aggressively get somebody that
I mean,
like
she just come out the bathroom and just sit in your face.
What you mean? Hold on, slap that shit on
What
me.
you gonna do?
I'm gonna push it off.
Are you sure you gonna push it
I'm
off?
going, bro. Listen, I don't. That is something that you have to make sure. I gotta be comfortable with.
I gotta be comfortable with you. I
You
gotta
can't
be
just come out and slap anything on me
Yeah.
and think it's gonna go. I got a big ass nose.
Yeah.
Big that all up on me. You know, you're gonna mess up my whole equilibrium. I'm be falling left and right. You know, you no, that is
You
something.
will have the glaze.
Believe me, when I go in to do that, I done told you I send people to Grady, baby. My whole thing, when I go in, I'm going in like a surgeon, okay? I'm going in and I'm gonna make sure you understand what a hysterectomy is. I'm gonna suck some things up out.
Yeah.
I'm stronger than a Hoover. I'll make Kirby look crazy. I'm just saying, I'm gonna have some fun down there. But I have to be in tune, and it's something I do when I feel. That's why they say that inner freaky, it shouldn't come out all the time, but when it comes out because of the person I'm with. They bring it out me and I want to do it. I just don't do it just because I'm with a person. That doesn't mean nothing to me like that. I'd rather say we can just have regular sex if it is not meaningful. Once we grow into a relationship, then yes, I want to bring you to a point where I'm going to share special stuff with you.
And see,
not with everybody.
That's where I think oral sex belongs, is in a relationship. And you might not be married, but you connected to one another, you see each other every day, you may live together, you spend a lot of time on each other, that it is a thing of intimacy. But so many people treat it a little less intimate in sex. It's a part of the normal sex process, and even I've even experienced many of people talking about what we were talking about with Jamal earlier, that there's some people who see oral sex as okay. Like when I was a young man, there would be girls that would have oral sex with me, but they wouldn't let me touch the cookie. Right? And that was their policy. You know what I'm saying? No, I can give you some oral sex, but you can't have none.
Was it
And I
white?
didn't understand. That confused me for a while.
Was it white? Was that I had a white girl do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Becky do that. I mean, it's so crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
I
Becky was like,
understand.
I suck it, but you can't poke it. Just
Yeah.
go ahead. I mean, you ain't the brightest mug. I can tell you that, right? Now, you this raw dog is, but I can't get it. Okay. Just let me know when you're about to die. I ain't letting you know nothing. Just your ass down there, you go get it.
You don't get it.
You go get it. I told you I sit on the grave. You don't want your ass down there? Hey, bye.
Listen, we gotta take another break. We coming to our closeout, so Jay and I go try to summarize this show
how we gonna do
and
that.
see if we can make sense of some of the stuff we talked about. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back for more Talk with Jay right after this track.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay, man. I'm telling you, we on one tonight. A lot of times, a lot of people might come into the show and they think it's raunchy. This is not like Dr. Roof, and I'm not trying to teach you how to have sex, and I'm not trying to say these are the things that you need to do. But we gotta say we gotta be more cautious.
Right.
Again, right now in ATL, AIDS, sexual diseases is on the rise. Don't get me wrong. Even though they got the testing, and that helps the numbers go high, I still like to say we still got to be cautious. So know your mate. So not do things so quickly and take precautions. Like condoms and making sure. Like the story where Kraft said, it was a situation where he was about to and couldn't have one. He tried to do the saran wrap. I remember them days. Yeah, you do young crazy things, but that wasn't working, so he didn't do it. And that's the decision that can make you live a longer life. A lot of times you'd be like, forget it, just do it anyway. My saying to that will be when you start having kids, because that's what happens when you have sex without condoms. Because again, it's made to make children. Let's be real with it. So now you done did that. If you don't make a kid, which I made 5, okay, but I didn't catch a disease. I caught a child. Probably cost me $1 million per child. It wasn't the cheapest thing I ever done. I don't regret it, but it was not the cheapest thing I could have ever done.
Right.
So I'm going to tell you a story where it's only going to make sense to you. If you ain't ready to go through all that and you ain't willing to put out $1 million, this is $1 million like 30 years ago.
Right.
It'd probably be about $2 million now, because cost is only going up. You ain't willing to drop $2 million investment in yours, then you might want to watch it. And again, it can get a lot higher depending on their education. And 'cause again, you paying for their college. So if you ain't prepared, then put that extra strap on.
Yeah.
Take the precaution. And then buying a couple extra doesn't hurt anything. I'll never forget when somebody looked at my glove compartment. Well, you got a condom. What you out there doing? My whole thing is, it doesn't matter that you've seen it. The most important thing, I have it.
I have
If
it.
you went in my bedroom and looked on my nightstand, you got condom. You too old to be having. What you mean I'm too old? My stuff still work. I don't know what the hell you
That's
talking
right.
about.
That's
But
right.
my whole thing is, just because you seen you mad because you in menopause and you,
Yeah.
I ain't. Okay, mine still shoot.
Listen, I done had many
Back of your
occasions.
throat.
I ain't gonna say it like that. I done had a number of occasions where I wasn't expecting nothing, but it went down, and I had to ask the question: do you have a condom? And she was like, yeah, I'll be right back. Now, a couple of them was dilapidated. You know what I'm saying? A couple of them had been in the bottom of the purse for a while.
You ever get the ones that's powder? You know them old hell. They still make them. I was like, oh no, I ain't using that place.
Right. But listen, asking the question is the key to protecting yourself and protecting the other person. I want to take this conversation a little deeper.
Take it.
Because I think we are all aware of the fact that when you do major things too early, you're not only going to lose respect, but you put your health at risk.
Okay.
But when you're getting to know a person, when should you let the inner freak come out? You've been dating them a while, you go in there, how do you open the doors? Maybe not how to, but when do you open the doors of your inner freak? Because there are some women who just love to give oral sex. And you want to do it, but not be forcibly, but maybe you just put a condom on it and do it that way, right? And that, and listen, sometimes, see, here's the thing about love and about liking people and interest, is that shit happens like a storm. It just comes, it just happens, you know what I'm saying? You meet somebody, you start vibing, you start liking each other, you spending lots of time together, you talking on the phone all night, you start feeling close and connected, and again, the statistics say that, somebody been in a relationship, 3 or 4 months, got more communication than people of the old days lived and been married for 10 years. You build a real strong relationship in a short period of time, you want to go ahead and have sex with them. And that ain't no 30-day period, sometimes that's a week. 10 days, 2 weeks, you want to have real sex with that person. When do you introduce your freak?
When I feel like it.
Okay.
I'm just going to keep it real with you. I know me. I want to do it when I feel right.
Okay.
Okay? It's like the 90-day rules that Steve threw out there for his daughter. I'm going to go back to that because I like how he put it. That was for his daughter. A lot of people took it on and took it a whole lot of other ways. And my whole thing is not to talk about him. At least he did something. My whole thing is, it goes back to you. Okay? I don't care here about 90 or anything else. I want you to do it when you feel you want to. I'm going to do it when I feel it. And if I don't feel it, I'm not doing it. It don't take no time limit. It ain't ever going to happen. So my whole thing is when I'm with you and I feel you, we doing some things, but I notice you're not comfortable. Sex is not easy. It's like I'm pulling tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do no freaky stuff, and I feel like it's not there.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I said. You gotta get that
So watch
feeling.
this.
Know the person that you with.
You're dating a person for about a year,
Mm-hmm.
and one night, y'all haven't been having oral sex. One night,
Mm-hmm.
she give you like this bomb and dome session. She just really turn you out that
Wax
night,
it.
right?
Yeah. Just on that bad boy.
all
Hold
that
it
good
in.
stuff, right? and y'all been dating a year.
Uh-huh.
What goes through your mind?
About time.
Okay.
What took so long? I mean,
Okay.
you knew that you could. Girl, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You got great skills. Got good
Okay.
jawbones.
Okay.
I like you.
Okay.
I miss you.
Now, see, when people, now here's the reality, when people
Yeah.
shift their behavior dramatically in a
Mhm.
short period of time,
Mhm.
there is usually an influence,
Oh yeah.
right?
Like so, her girlfriend saying, "Girl, if you don't do that, he gonna leave your behind."
Okay, yeah, it could be a
And it
girlfriend.
could be,
Yeah.
and I thank her.
Yeah, it could-
'Cause
yeah.
I wasn't really leaving, but that right there helped.
Yeah.
That helped all.
Well, what about the dude at work?
What about it?
He inspired her.
Oh, she cheated on me.
I
Oh, that's jacked up.
Oral sex ain't cheating, is it?
Hell yeah.
Is it?
She's sobbing on Bob over there. They gonna bring that slappiness over here. No wonder she good.
But
I'm
you-
mad about it. I'm mad. It ain't good no more. I'm gonna cuss her out when I see it.
Yeah.
Grown that left over.
Well,
after you
that's
done
big.
did
Where
that.
that's coming from? See, my point is that
That
yeah,
is.
she might not just throw it on you. She might be like, baby, you know what?
No,
I've
crap,
been
you
thinking
making
about-
me think. Because she did a damn good job, y'all. She had to learn somewhere talking about that was her first time. I knew she lied.
She lied.
She lied.
She lied.
She hurt my feelings.
Listen, and what happens if you've been dating a year and she lied?
Yeah, lied. And she been that way the whole time with other people. That's mental robbery.
I see some feelings getting hurt right now.
My feelings hurt. I'm starting to think about her now. I still
I
miss
see
it.
some feelings getting hurt.
She did a good job still.
I wanted to,
Used to call her jawbone.
my intention for this part of the show, and this is a small segment,
What's that?
was to commune with people who are in marriages and in relationships.
Oh, yeah,
And there are
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
things that the husband, he been wanting to try, he been wanting to do, and he ain't never let you know because you seem like you just might not have been interested in it, but this night he tries it or he starts talking to you about it, to include, maybe including the third person in the room, even though you might not be down for it. He's starting to introduce things that you're uncomfortable with. He's starting to have more inner freak than you are. And you like, okay, how am I going to be able to manage all this inner freak? Because I ain't trying to do all that. it can create problems. Even our inner freak later on in relationships, my point is, can create problems. You know, the freak ain't nothing but the devil, right? And not to say that some of that freaky stuff ain't pretty good, but whether you do it or not, sometimes bringing it up and talking about it, the devil at work, he start argument. He start oh, you want another woman? Oh, what, I ain't enough? And now you got to defend yourself from that. And that's just part of your inner freak. It ain't nothing, you know, it ain't nothing majorly out of the box. I can't think of a man in the world who wouldn't want more than one woman. That's just, you know, that's just human nature. But
you might want to, but if you know your woman, you know what not to do.
You may not want to bring that up.
Certain people,
exactly right.
They ain't with that.
Don't let your inner freak get you in trouble
But
just
that's
because
why
just because you married and you got that person
Gotta
in your life.
know your mate.
Right.
And that's where the problem is today. You can't take your mate and then start doing real freaky stuff with it. You ain't been doing nothing. Period.
Right.
My whole thing is you should be leading up. Now, see, one thing about it, if you got freak in you, you should have been leading up. You should have been talking freaky or something.
Yeah.
But you just come home and you been a whole year dry missionary, not doing that. Now you coming home cowboy style, trying to ride them like you ain't never rode before. She already know something done changed.
Something done changed.
What is it?
Yes.
And you putting yourself out
Yes.
there. My
And
only
listen.
thing is, you gonna try to say this has always been me, but you
Nah.
show no sign.
Right. And listen, one of the
Yeah.
major characters of cheating people is that they change their sexual behavior. One of the main qualities of a cheater is they will change their sexual behavior. They'll want to start all kinds of new stuff and different stuff, and they're telling you that it's just coming out of their mind, or maybe they watch it on some video, or they're part of some group. But in reality, they would have been doing that with somebody else, and now want to bring that home, right? So there are things to consider when you want to bring your inner freak out in a long-term relationship. And you mentioned it earlier, and I'm just, you know, kind of begging to differ a little bit, that you can't just do it when you feel like it, when you're ready. You got to start introducing it. You got to sell it a little bit. You got to coach it. You got to make sure she might be comfortable with it. You got to find a way to introduce that new addition to your inner freak to her. And it may not be a new addition. It may just something that you haven't been shared with.
But
that
also,
significant other.
when she introduces some things, you just don't always do some things. I have people that tell me they want to do this, they want to do that. Just because they say it, don't do it.
Right.
The reason I say that is you got to build up suspense. Okay?
Right.
And a
'Cause
lot
if
of
you don't-
time, that's why I don't do oral sex right away with anybody.
Right.
Because one, you should always ask yourself, if you was with a person, how fast did it go at? Okay?
Right.
From the first day to a month to a year. Okay? That's his thing. I've dated people years and it ain't went down. And it ain't going down. I was like, I don't even know how my dick stay hard. I'm not going down. I got a big nose. I'm like, I ain't doing it. Because you can't do it with everybody. You got to understand that.
Right.
You know, I can have sex and I don't have to always go out and do oral sex. My whole thing is you have to be comfortable with that person. Everybody's not. And then if you don't know what you're doing, that right there stems a whole nother problem. Well, I learned some things, okay?
Right.
I like to say I learned some things that can cause some problems.
Yeah.
So when you learn some things, you don't do these things and make a person crazy. I've done that, experimenting, trying to get better.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
And this is in my dating phase. So I'm dating and I'm doing these things and I'm making people crazy. I got them down at Grady. I got a wall. It's a wall of shame.
It's a wall of shame and
It's a
grace.
wall of shame. Jay done did all this. This don't make no sense.
Right.
Okay,
It's
well,
the one that you still
at
like.
one point you got to realize it's you. And I have to stop making them decisions and stop doing these things. Because I keep saying women are crazy. I am making them crazy because of the things that I do. So we have to reflect on ourselves. And we have to hold some things back. Because again, what good is it going to be and I finally get with the person I want to be and I gave it to everybody else? My cup is empty.
Right.
That's embarrassing.
Right.
So hold some. It's
some.
not meant for everyone.
Yes.
But you feel like, why? I mean, it's overflowing. It's only flowing right now because right now you don't even know what all you're doing.
Yeah.
So hold it, realize what you do, and then when you start, and again, wanting to do it with that one you want to be with, that's why you'll talk it up a hell of a time early. Because I'm telling you, you got it in you. It's building up.
This is just a point for men, particularly young men. The character of a man can be determined by his willingness to turn down some cookie.
Yes.
And you got to start thinking with your big head and not your little head. And thinking with your little head, I promise you, is a road. It's nothing but a trap. It's a road to darkness. And you know, I just say that for the men. For you ladies, make him strap up. And don't engage in oral sex. You got to be in a relationship to do that. Let that be a rule of thumb.
You say don't? You just don't tell them not to do it. I mean, if that's what they're comfortable doing, Crab, listen, let them do that.
Let's try to speak to the families. We know the freaky world gonna always be there, right?
We appreciate
Don't do it.
freaky world.
And
Appreciate
sometimes
y'all.
some of you women out there about to lose your man, learn by oral sex. You might be able to
It might be
hold
too late
on.
then.
Yeah, and
Hey,
same
kill
with
that
men.
man. Hey, this happened. Oh, Lord,
Listen, I asked my granddad, I said, Granddaddy, you eat cookie? He said, shit, what am I gonna put my mouth on something like that for?
I'm gonna spit my teeth
Old
out.
school, right?
Spit
Old
my
school.
teeth out when this gone.
Listen, I asked him that about 5 years later. I said, Granddad, you eat cookie? He said, a little bit.
He said he be pecking around.
Yeah. Learn to eat cookie. You might hold on to your lady a little bit longer. Let me make one last point. I've been wanting to make this point for a while.
Yeah,
It
what
just keeps
point you
coming
want
to
to
my
make,
head. That sex today is not like sex of years ago.
Okay, what's the difference?
That sex is not just the pump and the grind. Sex is a lot of extra stuff. That's what oral sex is about. That we take time to have some of that intimacy. Whether I know you or I don't, but the oral sex process is good. And it adds about 20 minutes to an hour to the whole program. So now you in sex, you just in la la land for 15 minutes. Every woman in the world loves to be in la la land. They want to be in the clouds. And when you can put a woman in the cloud like that, that it changes things for her. She might not have been liking you, but she'll start liking you after you give that oral sex. So the point is, there are a lot of things that are going to happen in your sexual world that you can't express your inner freak, but you can find some ways to get to that elongated sex. And that may be toys for the women, and that may be hand jobs for the men, but there are many ways that you can stimulate one another without causing risk. There are many ways that you can stimulate one another working toward maybe what you want in that relationship sexually. Because again, you can't just drop the bomb on somebody. You're like, you know, baby, I want you to hit it from the back. I'm like, okay, I'll do that, though. She's like, no, I want you to hit it from the back. I'm like, no, baby, I don't know what you're talking about. Right? So you got to set that up. If that's her, if that's the way she wants to
I
go,
don't
right?
understand how the hell you know that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you play crazy for a while,
Ain't
so
no
you don't act
crazy.
like,
I'm
you don't act
putting it
like
back.
you're excited about it, right?
I'm worried when she said she want to go to the back. Oh,
that
they
may
ain't free. You doing too
You
much.
can't stand yourself.
You doing too much.
Anyway,
I'm gonna tell you, I like what you said.
Yeah.
I like that. But one of the things I can tell you also is, there's a lot of times when you know a lot of different things, you don't have to do all that.
You don't have to do all that.
Because
Yeah.
oral sex, I've been in relationships without oral sex, and I've been in them for years.
Okay.
There's been people I've never put my mouth on,
Yeah.
and they ain't never even asked, because
Yeah.
without the other skills I'm capable of doing.
Right.
Understand
Right.
a woman and know how to move with a woman and flow with a woman. And I
Right.
promise you, she will like that so much. She's not quick to want the other thing.
She's
She's
not.
used to
That's
getting
right.
that.
Yeah.
She don't even know what that's gonna be like, but she already loving what she already getting.
Right.
That's when you get the anticipation, when you start understanding your woman.
Yeah. And we
Understand your skills, your levels, and you can change the game. Because I promise you, when you drop it down in,
There you go.
it will make somebody appreciate you even more when you do it correctly.
And listen,
Knowing what you're doing.
I
You know what I'm
want
saying?
to end on that. This is Bar Talk with Jay, folks. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy,
I'm just smooth crazy.
Smooth Jay. And we want to thank you folks for being with us tonight. I think we've talked about a very unique subject. I think we did it some justice tonight. Hopefully it was liberating and uplifting for you. And hopefully, you know, it's just a little knot in your wisdom belt to help keep you out of a troubled or a challenging situation. We love you folks, and we're glad you're with us. Continue to stay tuned. BarTalkWithJ.com. We are all over the internet, Facebook, YouTube, and continue to share us, like us, subscribe, share us, like us, subscribe. We only want to be a part of this community, just bringing good wisdom to the table. And I don't know too many other shows that do that. So we thank you. We're grateful that you're with us. And I believe we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.